Well, hello there. This is Father Dominic at Holy Trinity, and it is Sunday afternoon. And I know we've talked about some pretty heavy and heady stuff this last 2 weeks, and so I thought I would do something a little bit different this week and maybe kind of give you a little glimpse into my strange world, such as it is. And I thought I would talk about a little project that I've been thinking of. And I've been trying different things. You get to the end of the day, especially if you're in my line of work and your mind's kind of fried, but there's sort of this nervous energy. And so I sort of try different things. It's like I can't really focus on reading or studying something. At least it's hard. Maybe I'll get to the point where I can. Prayer, kind of fall asleep a little bit. So try to pray earlier in the day. So what do I do? And I thought of doing different things. When I was in Utah, I was doing puzzles. I decided to do all the national park puzzles. So I got this big kind of puzzle board and I was putting together these national park puzzles. And I don't know. I kind of felt like, well, what do I do with them now? I thought maybe I could use them for wall art, and I never quite got around to that. Ended up giving them all to my nieces and nephews who are enjoying them. But I thought, what could I do? I thought maybe I could take up woodworking, stoneworking, I don't know, something like that, something that I could do with my hands. I like to work with my hands. And haven't really had that opportunity. Like I say, especially later in the day when it's sort of that time. And so I had this strange idea, which is that I could do mosaic art, but not normal mosaic art, more like my own version of mosaic art. I've always been a kind of a unique person and always looking for my own unique angle. So I thought, well, what if I got Legos, just, sets of Legos, old Legos, garage sales, your Facebook Marketplace, whatever, people at old Legos just get bins of old Legos, sort through them, and then kind of use them to make some kind of mosaic art. So it's still kind of a concept, It's not like I really have that one dialed in. But I started to do that. I started to find old sets of Legos and organize them, and that's a very good thing to do, just organizing things, putting things in order for whatever reason. I really like that. It really fits with my proclivities. There's something very satisfying about that, getting things into order. And I would listen to audiobooks as I'm doing that, or listen to podcasts, listen to things that are educational without being overly so. So I've been doing that, and that has been working really well. But then I also thought, well, I'm trying to make this little altar for my chapel, and I don't really have a tabernacle. I don't really have a sanctuary lamp for it. I mean, I have the candles, obviously. But I thought, well, maybe what I could do is I could build a tabernacle and a sanctuary lamp out of the Legos that I have so far. That seems like a kind of a neat thing. I always enjoyed doing that when I was young. I enjoyed building things out of Legos. And, building things that are useful. I talked a little bit in another video about my flowers, my house decoration. Which are obviously Lego sets that I got. I didn't invent those things, but they work really well. And again, it was enjoyable putting them together, and I don't have to water them or take care of them. And it just seems to really work. So that has all been working well. And I thought, well, maybe I'll, kind of make my other decorations out of Legos as well, little by little. See what comes from it. So it's kind of an experiment, but so far so good. So I buy these sets of Legos, and they come with all sorts of things. You can find almost anything in these sets of Legos, just, boxes of used Legos that people have lying around. And I really like Darth Vader, Father Bill's more of a Jedi, as you might have noticed. And unfortunately, I've always been more of a Sith. I have to be honest about these things, I'm working on it. But I like Darth Vader, so it's like, I would love to have a, Lego Darth Vader action figure. But then, like I talked about last week, things that are necessary. Well, this is exactly how I start to accumulate stuff. I start to accumulate stuff. And I'm like, oh, I like Darth Vader, so now I'm gonna, start to acquire Darth Vader action figures and put them around. And it's very important. This is not a judgment on anyone else. Everybody has to find their own intentional way to live their life. But just for me, it's like, I don't know. As I discern things, I get a feeling from God, like one way or the other. And with this, God's like, no, I think that's something you need to let go. So it's like I could trade this in somehow, probably, for other Legos, for other pieces, and start to build up my sort of my base of things to be able to build mosaics from. So that's probably what I'll do with this. It's like I don't feel called right now to have that around. I can't exactly put a reason to it, but I do think that's important. I think it's important with everything we have to really say, like, is this something which God wants me to have, or is this something which, I'm getting attached to? Because I can accumulate all kinds of things and I end up with all this stuff and it's, not really doing me any good. But building a tabernacle, building a sanctuary lamp holder out of Legos, at least for starters, those things seem like good things to do, so maybe I'll, as I go along, kind of keep you informed of my progress on those things, and we'll see where they go. I mean, this is sort of the start that I have, because this is a sanctuary lamp. This is the candles that we use for sanctuary lamp, and so I thought, well, I can kind of build for whatever reason, I thought I would build a base for this sanctuary lamp out of gray, kind of out of stone, but then kind of set into the stone little clear pieces, red, obviously, ultimately. And then those red pieces will, kind of shine through the stone in different places. And then it'll kind of be a sanctuary lamp. I mean, I don't have enough red pieces that are clear to build an entire, sort of a lamp holder out of that. But so I can build it kind of out of the dark ones, kind of like stone, and have those little pieces in it, and then I can put it in there, and then the light will shine through those. So that's where I'm at with that. I mean, that's my idea with this little project, is to start to do that, start to build these things out of Legos. It's my own, like I say, it's kind of my own type of mosaic art, and I don't know. I think it's something that could be good. At least right now, it feels like, it's something that could be life-giving. It could sort of answer this need to have a hobby of some sort. I mean, it certainly has been so far a good hobby, kind of going around. When I'm driving around, I see a garage sale. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go by and see if they have any, any old boxes of Legos or whatever. And grabbing them, going through them. And it's kind of a scavenger hunt too, in some sense. I'm not really just going and buying them all. I don't feel called to do that. I don't think that's what I'm supposed to do. I am really trying to simplify my life in various ways. But if I find these things, or if these things come to me one way or another, then I can start to use them, and maybe, use them for the glory of God, use them to make beautiful things, use them as a way to use my hands to exercise my creativity in a different way. I do really like building, designing things. It exercises the brain in a different way. We do a lot of sort of head work. We do a lot of intellectual work in our line of work. And these are things which can be a little bit different, and can kind of open up different avenues. And I think it's important. Like, it is important to have a balanced life. It's important to have a life in which we have times of sort of relaxation. But what does relaxation mean? What's really relaxing in a life-giving way? And what are things which kind of just distract us more? Because I've done that. I've been there. I've sort of played games on my devices, or just scrolled through news, or social media. None of that has been particularly life-giving. I mean, when your brain's fried, you kind of just want to do something mindless like that. But it ends up, at the end of it, I mean, I've never felt sort of more rested or more fulfilled. Whereas, making something, designing something, building something, doing something with my hands, while at the same time being able to listen to things that are edifying, that are good. I don't know. It just seems like something that could be life-giving, that could be good. So I'm gonna do that, and this is, like I say, this is sort of my little project right now, and I wanted to share that with you. That's not a particularly theological or philosophical reflection. It's just a little glimpse of my life and where I'm at, trying to find a healthy rhythm and a healthy balance to my life. Well, I don't know what I think. Definitely has kind of a Dark Tower vibes. But I think it's kind of cool. If I had all clear red, then I would just make it all out of clear red bricks, but I don't. So this is what I have to go by for now. And yeah, I think it'll work. I mean, it's been a great gift to be here, and I'm very, very happy. I mean, it's a real luxury. I was a pastor for years, and it really weighs on you. And so I'm very happy to have this chance to sort of recover, to breathe, to slow down, to find different things, to do different things, kind of exercise different aspects of my creativity, of my gifts, while always being open to, the fact that God could very well in the near future call me to take that up again, to do that again, to be serving in that way again. And that's what we're called to. But I think something that I'll do, even if God calls me to that, is make sure I have time built in for these sorts of things, for leisure things, for ways to be able to disconnect in a good way, in a healthy way, in a life-giving way, not in a way that's going to distract me more, fill my life with more, sort of negativity, but things which could really be good and uplifting, ways in which I can use my creativity. So that's what's going on with me. Just wanted to let you know that, and I will hopefully little by little, as we go along, share my progress in this little project and see how things go. Who knows where it's going to go, but at least right now that's where I'm at, just trying to listen to the Spirit and to find my own strange, unique way of living out that life that the Spirit is inviting me to live. So thank you very much. God bless you, and I will see you all soon.